Hey everyone, welcome back to our live chat. I am Heather, and we are here for you every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 times a day, starting at 9 a.m. and going until 5. So we're at 9, 11, 1, 3, and 5. And then on Fridays, we are here for you at 9 and 11. So I hope everybody's having a great day today. I know Renee's back. I know a lot of you are excited about that. And seeing another face besides mine that's up here. So every day we do like to go over our starter kit for those who have questions. But of course, we cover other products that we have because we have over 350 products. And so we like to show you all Luminous. And so if you do have questions, if you do want to see a certain product, reach out to us and let us know because we are here for you guys. We want you to utilize us. We want you to ask us questions because this is a live chat and we would love to hear from you. Now, let's go over the basics, meaning our starter kit. This is our Icon starter kit, and this we also have the Icon Pro and the Legend. They're all operated about the same, except the Pro does have 2 speeds. So if you wanted to do like body work or tanning, things like that, you can use the double speed. But they all come put together. The only thing you have to do is plug in the power adapter, which is pretty awesome because there's no like 84-page directions or instructions on how to put it together. They're already put together. And so we do give you the 2 bottles of foundation. They're going to be similar in color. So you can match them, mix and match them. And then think of this as your practice kit as well. We want you to practice. We want you to really get in there and start loving Luminous. And then we give you the small bottle of Love and of Blush. Now, the small bottles, you might think, well, why do I need, it's a small bottle. Well, you're only using 2 drops. And maybe Blush isn't something you're going to wear every day, or Love isn't something you're going to wear every day, so that will last. Remember, with airbrushing, you're using 10 times less makeup. And so what's great about that, once you get it down, once you know what you're doing, then you'll be able to really see that aspect of it where you might start with 10, 12, 20 drops, but then you'll get it down to about 5 to 7. And when you first start out, this is what we want you to do right down here. And that is plug it in, get it to work, or turn it on. There's air that comes out. So moving your stylus around, feeling that air, that's practicing. Keeping it 4 finger widths away, that's practicing. So practice with that, and then get some water in here, and then practice spraying on with the water. That way you're not using any of the products, you're just using the water, and you can practice that way. Hello, Jacqueline. Good morning, Donnie. How are you? All right, let me take that off so we can go back so I can see everybody. So yeah, if you're on, say hello. I love to see who is here. It's always nice to know who's on. So thank you guys for saying hello. So let's talk about color matching. So once you get your system and you get your bottles out, the one thing I'm going to pull, no, I'm not, because I don't know where my headband is. One thing you'll want to do is, of course, shake up your bottles. You definitely want to shake up anything that you're using that is airbrush, because you want to make sure that you really mix that pigment in there and get it moving around, and make sure that it's fully mixed. Hello, Angelica. How are you? So I'm actually, you get 2 bottles. I'm actually going to do 3 color match, so you can see the difference. And so I am going to color match just right here on my cheek. And the way I'm telling you to color match is actually like traditional makeup. So I'm going to take my first bottle, put a drop on my finger, and rub that in, just like that. I put it on, I should say, not rub it in, because I do want to see it, okay? And then now I'm going to do the other one. And you can do it where you can really see it. And then I'm going to do a third one. And normally, of course, you would just do the two that you have. I just want to show you the difference. Okay? Can you see all three? Yes. Can you see all three of them? Kind of have the light one in the middle. And then I have two on the other side. Now, looking at that, you might look at that and go, hey, Jeannie. You won't look at that and say, hey, Jeannie. But you might look at that and go, I don't think any of them work. What if I told you I could make any of these work? Any of them. That is how forgiving airbrush makeup is when applying it the correct way. Okay, so I have my three right here. I'm going to pick the one closest to what I feel my shade is. What's great about that is it doesn't have to be exact. Just get it in the ballpark. So I'm going to go with this one. This one seems to be maybe a little bit too dark, and this one might be a little bit too light. Okay, so I'm going to go with this one. So I'll take this off. Hey, Candy, how are you? I'll let that dry. So, I mean, wouldn't y'all say, like, if you first saw that, you would say none of them work, right? And dry that out a little bit more. So, again, this is going to show you how forgiving airbrush makeup is. So when people first start out and they're like, I have the wrong shade. Honey, if we got you in a ballpark, then you're good. If we have you in a range, you're good. All right, now I'm going to start. I have my drops right in here. I have my system's on. I can feel the air. Now, wherever the air is where the makeup's going to go. Nothing is being released until I pull back on this trigger, right? So I can start in one spot. There we go. And I make a pass, keeping my stylus moving, pulling back on my trigger, getting under my eyes. Going on this side, lightly pulling back on that trigger. Now, how's that looking? Are you starting to tell the difference? That's only one pass. Remember that coverage and intensity of color, like with blush or eyeshadow, is made by passes. All right. So now I'll go back down here, a little bit under my eyes. Remember to pull it back when you do your nose. Couple of times I'll forget and it will build up here. So you can go in and either pat it out or take your blender and do that if you need to. I'm going to tell you in just a minute, Jeannie. I'm going to add a little bit more because I want a little more coverage. Actually, let me see real quick. Put my drops in there. Go under my eyes. I still have that little red dot on my cheek. focus on where I need the coverage. And there we go. Can you guys tell a difference in the coverage from when I started to this is just straight coverage. This is straight foundation and nothing else. So the shades that I put on to test was a Mystic Shade 3. And if you've watched any of my lives, you know that I am a shade 3. Mystic Shade 3, a Silk Shade 5, and a Mystic Shade 2. So which one do you think I used? Anyone? Anyone? Care to guess? Which one did I use? I'm giving y'all time. While you're thinking about one I used, Jeannie says 2. Oh, Candy says 2. Any other takers? I'm now putting some plum, and I'm going to use the natural blush. Any other guesses? Let me add some blush to my cheeks. Mixing the natural. Donnie thinks a 2. And, oh, everybody said, oh, Angelica says 3. Do a little bit on my eyes too. Jacqueline says 3. I used the 5. Ha ha ha, tricky, tricky. So yes, I used the Silk Shade 5. Yes. Silk Shade 5. Yep, I did. So that's what I'm telling you, is that it is very forgiving. Could I use the 2? Sure could. I could use the 2. Could I have used the 3? Yep. And Mystic? Yep. But I used 5 by itself in Silk 4-in-1. That is how forgiving airbrush makeup is. So if you're having a problem, and I know this is seems like 2 different areas, if you think your foundation color is wrong and off, look at how you're spraying. Because chances are, if you're new to Luminous and you think you have the wrong shade, if we got you in the right range, you're pretty golden. You're good. You just need to make sure you're not spraying too hard. Because if you're spraying too hard, then it goes on like traditional makeup and you can see it too much. I know it's kind of it's just flat out a different way of putting makeup on, and it goes against everything we've been doing up until this point with traditional makeup, which is, come on guys, let's be real. Isn't that what we want? That's why we're looking into Luminous. That's why we love Luminous, is we want something different. And so don't expect to put it on and have it look the same as your traditional makeup. It is going to be different. It is so much more forgiving. It lets your skin breathe. Your skin's going to love you. You're going to look healthy and youthful, and it's going to take 10 to 15 years off. So who doesn't love that? All right. All right, guys, there you go. We have our blush, we have our foundation, and hey, we're going to be back at 3 o'clock. We will finish, well, of course, I'll be taking this off, and then we'll have our look another look at 3. If there is anything you guys want to see, let me know, and we can definitely implement those into our lives. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for hold on. My sister tells me that I always have a lot of makeup on my face. So okay, Angelica, if you are airbrushing and your sister's telling you that you have too much makeup on, you're putting too much on, meaning, or you're pulling back too far. Remember these steps. Hold on, let me go back here. These steps that I was telling you right here, practice those. Practice keeping it 4 finger widths away. Keep your stylus moving and barely pull back on the trigger. The other way you can practice this is put a couple of drops in your stylus and spray a paper towel, a Kleenex, a piece of paper, and look at how you're spraying. If it's wet when you're spraying, then you're putting on too much. You do not want to see it go on. You should question whether or not you can see, or whether or not it's going on. When you're doing these and you're barely pulling back on that trigger, you'll be able to hear a difference between the air blowing and the air blowing makeup through. You can hear that difference. And so listen to that as well. But chances are you're pulling back too far on the trigger, which is I think probably the number one issue, because people want to see it immediately. That goes back to traditional makeup. That's the case. I mean, that's just what everybody does. That's what we know, really. I mean, that's what we're going to go back to. So work on spraying less. Don't pull back all the way on the trigger. Pull back itty bitty, and keep that stylus moving. You saw me. Do that. Come back to our live at 3 and we'll cover it again. We're going to go over that, because I want everybody to love it just as much as I love it. And so come back to the live so you can ask more questions. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you back here at 3. Bye for now.